The job interview is the make it or break it part of the job application process. And Brown Mackie College can help you make a good first impression. And Albuquerque campus president Eric Rudie is back with us today to talk more about that. Hi, Eric.
Good morning, Nikki. How are you?
Well, you never get a second chance to make a
good first
impression.
That's right.
So what are some of the common mistakes that people make in interviews?
Well, we polled a bunch of the employers that we work with, and the 4 top mistakes that they came up with were really pretty amazing to me.
Really?
But the first number one was still dressing appropriately for an interview. I mean, tank tops, short shorts, and wedge heels is not appropriate business attire for an interview.
And you don't look like you care. You really want to look like you care, like you took the time to look good.
Exactly.
Okay.
And, I mean, the second one, most popular one, be on time.
Yeah.
Always give yourself at least 20 minutes before your interview time so you can check in. They know you're there. You can use the restroom, fix your makeup, whatever it might be.
Good point.
And be ready to be interviewed, because the people that you're interviewing with, their time is valuable.
It is, and it's scary when you're nervous anyway and you come running in and you're out of breath or you're nervous or you feel like you need to check yourself in the mirror. So you're right, the early arrival is always best. And then what is the third one that you would say?
The third one is a product of this generation. Turn off your cell phone.
During an interview,
Do not
please.
use your cell phone, text message, or anything in an interview.
Right. Can you imagine if I was interviewing you right now and you had your phone out while we were talking on the air? Yeah.
It shows total disinterest to the employer and everything else.
Yes.
You're not that important that you have to take that cell phone call in the middle of an interview.
I know. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. And what would be the fourth one?
The final one was know something about the company. Every company has an internet presence. So look up the company on the internet and just get some basic facts about them.
Yes.
Because one of those questions an employer is going to ask you is, so tell me what you know about our firm.
Yes.
And if you're staring at like a deer in the headlights, it's not a good first impression.
No, these are such good tips. And like you said, with an online presence right now, the way it is, it's so important that you be able to do your homework, and it makes a difference. So of course, all of the things you just mentioned are now on our screen. People, write it down. If you're looking for a job right now, these are great tips, and you know best. And you also know what job seekers should actually look out for when they're looking for the work. So what would you say about that?
2 things, 2 most important things. The one is make sure you have 3 people look at your resume and read it for grammatical and spelling errors, because that's your calling card. And when an employer reads that and sees spelling and grammatical errors, round file.
That's a good point. Sometimes spell check just doesn't do
catch it. That's right.
It's true. And you sometimes, even if you're a very smart person and you're articulate and intelligent, sometimes you just miss something. It's human error.
Absolutely, because you wrote it.
Right,
and therefore you think it's right. So always have at least 3 people look at your resume. And then the last tip that I could give you is after the interview, be sure you always send a thank you note. Handwritten. Send a thank you note thanking them for their time. It puts your name back in front of them and they remember the interview.
And by doing it handwritten, they realize that you really took the extra time.
Do care.
Thank you, Eric. That's really good advice. And so if people want to get in touch with Brown Mackie for more information, not just about this, but obviously about the classes, how can they do so?
They can always come visit the school at 10500 Copper Avenue Northeast. We're right behind the Walmart off of Eubank and I-40. Or they can go online, onecourse1month.com, or give us a phone call at 559-5200.